我々京都のオールドからは。
What can be said about Mario Party 6? This franchise was like Call of Duty at one point. They released one game every single year. And similar to how they always used to release a new game every year, you guys expect me to keep on talking about Mario Party every single year. Thank you guys so much. Well, seeing how this is the 6-year anniversary of my channel, of course you would expect me to talk about Mario Party 6. And here we are. I hope you guys are happy. Now I just want to let you know that I did not play this game when I was a kid. I stopped buying these after 5, because that one was kind of a disappointment to me. So this is the first time I'm actually playing this. And what do I think? It's good! Allow me to show you. Sit back, relax, and grab a slice of cake. What's something that I could talk about so that I don't freaking repeat myself over and over? Surprisingly, Mario Party 6 is a huge improvement compared to its predecessor, so I think I'll just go ahead and compare this game to Mario Party 5, seeing how it's still sort of using the same mechanics. But first off, what's the story of this game? Well, the game shows us a little opening intro where the sun and the moon starts fighting over who is the better host of the Mario Party world. I don't fucking know, I've never seen you guys before. I liked your Pokemon games, though. Bad joke. Mario and his gang decides to throw multiple parties in order to collect as many stars as possible to end the feud between the sun and the moon. And then the game begins! So these little bastards are the hosts of this game. Brighton and Twyla. Should have called them Sunny and Moon Fred. Of course, we tested the game out by starting a regular game of party mode. This has always been the normal way of playing Mario Party, rolling the dice, walking some spaces, getting coins, grabbing stars, and playing some minigames. When looking through the settings for party mode, everything seems to be the same. You can decide how many turns the game should have, if you want all of the minigames, and if you want all the bonus stars at the end. Alright, cool. And here are the characters. Yep. Still no Donkey Kong, and these bastards are just teasing me with that empty character slot. Let me guess. Piranha Plant. I'm too good at this. Man, I don't even know what I should talk about first. Okay, let's talk about the boards. You know how in the previous games where you're just trying to reach the star that has been placed randomly on the board and you're needing 20 coins to buy it? Yeah, that's still here, but only for 2 of the boards. Towering Treetop and EGAT's Garage are the only boards that use the same concept as the previous games. On Fair Square, you need to walk around the entire board in order to reach the star location that never moves, but on this board you can buy up to 5 stars in one go, if you've got enough coins for that. On Snowflake Lake, all players starts with 5 stars and you need to ride on these chain chomps and steal stars from the other players. That won't cause a fight amongst friends. On Castaway Bay, you need to reach the end to visit Donkey Kong's boat where you can buy a star, and after that purchase, he then switches positions with Bowser, and if you get to his boat, you get your star stolen from you. Idiot. And then we've got the unlockable board, Clockwork Castle, where you basically have to chase Donkey Kong and run away from Bowser, as they also roll the dice to walk around like big dumplings. Are you bored yet? This is the first time that they changed up the rules for the boards in a Mario Party game. I do like the fact that they kept the original rules for at least 2 of the boards, as if they wanted to take baby steps to change up the gameplay. Kinda like an experiment. You can try out the boards with the new stuff, or you can play the way you're familiar with. They don't really shove the different rules in your face, like this is how you must play now! But instead, they sprinkle all the new stuff here and there, like try it out if you want, we won't force you though, okay thanks. But the cool thing is that all the new stuff that they added to the boards are actually good. I can't believe it! Another thing that plays a huge part in this game, and especially for the boards, is the day and night theme. You know how each Mario Party game was themed after a certain thing, like the last game was like dream themed? This one is themed after the day and the night. And this is the first time where the theme itself actually plays a huge part in the gameplay. For every 3 turns, the board will change between daytime and nighttime, which will cause certain things to happen on the board, like some paths will be either blocked or changed, certain shops and stuff will either open or close, and look! They even brought back the booze shop! Fuck! The boards aren't the only things that changes, but even the minigames do, but we'll talk about that later. And this time I promise, here we've got Donkey Kong being a stupid space on the board again, but only during the day, because during the night, all his spaces turns into Bowser spaces. My favorite. So it is a neat addition to the game where you have to think of a strategy, not just the usual way, but you also have to consider how the day and the night cycles will either help or fuck you up.
You take the moon and you take the sun.
You take everything that seems like fun.
Shut up!
You shut up!
Okay, so remember how the items transform into the form of capsules in the last game? Well, they're still like that, but this time they're called orbs. Okay. They still sort of work the same way, but luckily they polish the concept of these stupid little things. You still place them on spaces and shit, but instead of being marked with an icon that you really can't tell what the hell it is until you land on it, instead, they get marked by the icon of your character so that you know who placed it there, and therefore benefit the player who did place it there. And now you can even find hidden coins in some of these orbs, which actually adds to the strategic thinking, because if you are about to reach a star but don't have enough money, you can take the chance of using an orb and maybe get enough money before you roll the dice, and get that star like a man!
I'm so goddamn smart.
Depending on which orb you use, they either get placed as a space you need to land on, which is displayed by a character icon as a space, or they get set as traps, which will be displayed by a character icon hovering above the original space so that you can tell the difference. And if you happen to pass by one, something will happen. Like dying. Now instead of getting these orbs for free and whatever the fuck, now they act more like the items from the original games. You have to buy them from shops, or if you happen to pass by an orb space, then you get a random one for free. Oh, and this time they don't cost money if you want to use them. So thankfully, the items won't cause a freaking mess all over the board, like in the previous game. It's noticeable that they worked around and got rid of the stuff that made them, well, a goddamn mess. Now, it's all about strategy. They sort of combined the regular items and the capsules into one thing, grabbed what was good about each of them, and then slapped them together.
I went ahead and bought another capsule, just like last year, just to see if I can get something interesting this time. What the hell? What is this? What?
The bonus stars are exactly the same as before, except that they got rid of the coin star and replaced it with the orb star. The player who used the most orbs gets the star. Cool. Yoshi just stole the star right in front of my face! So did Peach! Chance time is back as well, but now it's called Round of Miracles. Yeah, I'm still calling it chance time. Okay, what else should we talk about? Oh yeah, the minigames. In my opinion, Mario Party 6 excels in the minigame portion. Yeah, perhaps even beating the third game. The 4-player minigames are all fun to play, the 2 vs 2 minigames actually forces you to work together with your teammate, and the 1 vs 3 minigames are actually pretty damn fair. It doesn't matter which side you're on. I don't think I had any complaints about any of the minigames, but god damn it, do I hate the ones where you have to repeatedly press the same button as fast as you can. Feels like I'm about to pop a blood vessel every time I do it. So there is a good selection of great minigames on here, most of which are pretty damn creative, which is surprising, and some even use a C-stick, which I don't think has ever been used before, if I remember correctly. Luigi! Are you drunk? Dual minigames are back with the exact same rules as before, and so do the battle minigames. They also just randomly replace the regular 4-player minigames like in the last game, so yeah. Donkey Kong's got his stupid little minigames, and the same goes for Bowser. They're still scary. Of course, the boards themselves has got some minigames in them as well, like this hat minigame. And as I mentioned before with the day and night cycles, they also affect the minigames. Mostly it's just the aesthetics of the game itself, but sometimes the rules of the minigames will change depending if it's day or night. That's pretty neat, but the biggest addition to this game is a little thing called a microphone.
Yeah, oddly enough, this game came packaged with a microphone that you hook up to the GameCube. Why? Because for minigames, you stupid ape!
So this little thing here is a completely new idea that these geniuses came up with. It's only used for 1 versus 3 minigames, as there are 5 games which can appear if you happen to be the one fighting against the 3 other players. Honestly, I thought I was gonna have one hell of a bad time with this thing, as I assumed it was not gonna work properly, but surprisingly, it worked pretty damn well. So it did respond to all of my commands correctly early on in the game.
6.
I say early on because later it decided to disobey whatever the hell I was saying.
Forward. Forward. I said forward. Right. Right. No, go right. Finish. All right, let me try and hide my accent this time. Go. Forward. Finish. Okay.
Even if the microphone isn't exactly 100% perfect, I felt this strange, joyous feeling whenever I used the microphone and seeing the game respond to my commands. So yeah, the GameCube microphone. Thumbs up! Wanna see a real genius? Waluigi needs to replace one of his 3 orbs to make room for a new one. Idiot throws away the only super mushroom he had instead of a normal one. They're all free to use, freaking idiots! Now let's talk about the extra stuff. Much like the bank you had in Mario Party 2, this one has got exactly the same thing. Except only with stars. It's called the Star Bank. When playing a game of party mode, the total amount of stars every player collects gets transferred into this bank at the end of the game, and with those stars, you can unlock stuff from the Star Bank itself, like a new playable character, a new board, different game modes, and higher difficulties. Brutal difficulty, huh? Let's try that one out.
I didn't want to do it. I'm so sorry.
As you can see, you need a lot of stars in order to unlock everything that's on here. 480 stars to be exact. Now, there was absolutely no way that I was gonna be able to get that many stars in the short time that I was playing this, so what I did was to set up a 10-turn game on Snowflake Lake, because you'll always end the game with 20 stars, and also have the bonus stars at the end. And then you just change your character to become a CPU player, so now I've got a full game of Mario Party played only by CPUs, and just let them have at it, while I do something else. Take a dump, I don't know. I let the CPUs play multiple games for a full day straight without touching the game myself until they farmed enough stars for me so that I could unlock everything in the Star Bank.
Again, I'm so smart.
There is a solo mode in this game as well, less complicated than the one in the previous game. In this one, you just have to reach the end of these tiny-ass boards and make sure to land on the very last space, because otherwise you will die. You will most likely play some mini-games before you get to the end to reel in some extra points, but yeah, it's pretty boring. We can't have a Mario Party game without a minigame mode! There are some modes where you can compete in minigames only, like the regular free play mode, and then there is something called Battle Bridge, where you just have to beat a certain number of minigames to win. Then there's Mount Duel, where you play duel minigames in a tournament bracket style. Boring. We've got Treetop Bingo, where if you win a minigame, you can mark off a number, hopefully getting enough to get a bingo. Bingo. There's Decathlon Park, where you play random minigames and try to get as many points as possible by the end. And then there's Endurance Alley. You just have to beat 100 minigames in a row without losing once. I only got to 19, but that's where I stopped caring anyway, so bye-bye! So, all of the minigame modes are actually pretty boring. What can I say? And here's Mic Mode! Mic Mode has its own share of special minigames for players with a microphone. Let's try the game Speak Up. Sorry, but you need at least 2 players to play.
Oh well.
So let's try out Star Sprint instead. Here's where you get to shout out a lot of different commands. You need to control your character by shouting commands such as move up and jump, and just try to avoid obstacles as you run towards the finish line. This mode was actually really fun to play. And of course, we've got the regular mic minigames in here. These you don't need to unlock. You can play all 5 of them immediately if you want.
Mario Party! Oh, look at that, they all showed up when I said Mario Party.
So in the end, Mario Party 6 surprised me a lot. I did not expect this game to be as enjoyable as it was. Trust me, when playing the same game for a long period of time, you would grow tired of it pretty quickly, but I had fun throughout my entire playthrough of this game. It does keep the traditional way of a Mario Party game while also throwing in some new ideas, but like I mentioned before, they don't slap these new mechanics in your face like the previous game did, but instead, they introduced them in a calm and understandable way. So far, Mario Party 6 is the best Mario Party game on the GameCube in my opinion, and from what I've heard, a lot of people would agree. Damn, I wonder if 7 will change anything. Nah, probably not.
So yep, Mario Party 6. A really fun time. I was surprised. I've never played this before, so it was really refreshing to see that a somewhat stale franchise could make such a great return. Everything that was new about this game was very welcomed, and the microphone was a cool addition to the game, so yeah. I would go as far to say that this game is up there together with Mario Party 3, meaning that I think it's better than Mario Party 2. I'm DexTheSwede signing out, and thank you for watching. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna continue eating my slice of cake.
This video was brought to you thanks to my amazing Patreon supporters. If you feel like throwing some extra support my way, then you can head over to my Patreon page and receive some pretty dang cool rewards as thanks for pledging and helping my show stay alive. We've got behind the scenes commentaries for every video I make, and you can also receive a very special drawing, very much like this one, sent to your home. Ain't that cool? Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter, especially on Twitter, as I'll be posting news, updates, and other random shit. Follow me on Twitch if you want to watch me live stream games and such, and we've also got a Discord group that you can join as well. Links are in the description. Thanks for an amazing 6 years.
And now I'm gonna eat it. Because I'm a starving man. And it's been a while since I had cake. Happy birthday to me, alright? God damn it.